everyone, how are we all doing tonight? Hope you're doing well. I forgot to change this stream description on Twitch, so let me fix that right now. Just so everyone's fully aware, at this point, I just want to get this game done and dusted. I did take a look at the hints for the marble puzzle, and I sort of know what I have to do there, but I've not fully prepped it, so we'll take a look at that today once we get out of this area that we're in, but I'm hoping to try and get this done tonight if I can. If not, I mean, after that bloody stone puzzle on Jungle Island, I'm just prepared to get this done ASAP. I'm literally done with this game. Just making sure I've got my notes up. And close you. Bring up OBS. Alright, so I think we'll just get straight into this. We're imprisoned. If I go this way, it leads to a door. We cannot get out here. We can peer out here and we can see movement in those, I want to call them houses directly ahead. We can also see someone on the catwalk there. Very fascinating. Just adjusting things in OBS. Yeah, that's what we saw earlier. That dude moving in the house. Now the question is, what do I stream after this? I'm getting my internet upgraded in 10 days. I don't know whether or not I'll be able to stream simultaneously to YouTube and Twitch in 2K. I definitely can't record and stream 2K, that doesn't work. I don't know about multi-streaming though, so I'll test that out. I think around that time I'd like to play Metal Gear Solid 2. Before that though, I don't know. Maybe I just need to get back to recording Gabriel Knight, but I'm still feeling terribly sick. Okay, how do we get out of here? Still coughing a lot at work. I've got a lot of work to do at work and... Who are you?
Katrina e now da saya palo. Yapa ay manay yalepo.
Ich spreche kein English.
Bekaretere wira pe yelo kene falapo. Tisai. Why te fulupe?
Is that a linking book? I would guess so. I assume the door ahead of me is still locked. Can I skip this? No. Okay, something's happening. Them again? Yes.
Sirapo. Ibuko mo buko wisipo. Na vene. Tapa mo revene beno. Now, Katarina ne. Wisifa polo ya sepe yai.
What was the purpose of the first visit, the first book? That looks familiar though, that little what would you call that, protrusion on the book that she placed there. That's going to act as a linking image, which appears to take me back to whence I came. Is that useful in any way, though? It's just going to take me back here, correct? I'll do it again. I'm still mad, but I'll do it again. That's one. I just want to see if we can get back there. Or if that book is now gone. Yeah, these images are far too stylized for me to get them. Even if I was able to figure out the other parts of the puzzle, I don't think I would have been able to map them back into these images. This one, in my opinion, is too hard. And honestly, the next one coming up is not much better. It wasn't that one, was it? It was a sensor one. Yeah, that one as well. I'm not sure I buy any of it. Because that rock looks like it had a massive tail pointing directly up there. And this one is just nothing. I can skip that. Excuse me. Yep, we can go back there. I think I will. I think we saw that earlier. This animation. If I get captured again, I think I'll just... Well, I shouldn't rewind, should I? Is this the fifth island? It's a crater. We're on disc 4, not disc 5. I came back because I did not learn my lesson last time. Yeah, look at these daggers here. Those are what we saw at the village. Maybe they emigrated. Either to a new age or to this island. They've moved out of the jungle into this dank, dark, very mysterious place. Although, thinking about the dank and the darkness that I just mentioned... Come on, game. The rest of this place is relatively sunny. Whereas this place looks very dark, so maybe this is a different age. Swimming Carcass, hope you're doing well, dude, and thanks for dropping in. I hear there's a new game coming out later this evening. Something about a song? Your Guitar Hero, perhaps? Either way, I'm not going to be playing it because I did not... Well, I did complete the original game, but... I still got to get the Platinum Trophy on that, and that involves either getting good, to the point where I want to kill myself, or I need to use a glitch to become invincible and then play through the rest of the bosses. And honestly, it has been years since I last played it, so I would want to restart it from scratch. Never been into that style of game, yeah. I mean, it's a kind of like a 2D Souls-like. I enjoyed what I played though, I recall enjoying it. Alright, so at this point I don't know what to do. Well, I do know I've got to solve the marble puzzle, which I looked up. I need to get some information from my previous videos, I'll share that with you, but I do not know what else to do apart from the marbles. Metroidvanias, yeah. I don't mind Metroidvanias, although I didn't like Castlevania Symphony of the Night very much. Super Metroid is fantastic. Hollow Knight was decent, I think, but it was just way too big for its own good. I don't think we'll find anything over here. That kind of sounded like a baby. We about to witness someone being sacrificed? What about the oven over here? Nothing in the oven? No babies in the oven. Alright. I think what I'll do is go back to the Dome Island, make a save, and then I'll start talking about what I have to do. And yeah, I don't think I would have figured out this one either, so I don't mind looking it up. That said, I will try and determine what needs to go where and try and figure it out logically, but I've definitely seen enough hints to get me started and to solve the puzzle. It is definitely something I would not have been able to figure out myself because I'm not that smart. And also, this game is a troll. It's definitely not like Myst, where Myst feels very easy and contained by comparison. But this one just feels like... I don't know how to describe it other than they just threw a bunch of shit at a wall and hoped that some of it stuck. Kind of like Metal Gear Solid 2, in fact. Which is what I want to play next, but I digress. Losing my voice. Anything out here? No. Alright, where is that fifth island? Are we on that island? Don't know. Don't want to go that way. Let's go this way. And hopefully I don't trigger any major events when I go back to the map island. If I do, I'm going to need to actually legitimately backtrack. That silhouette is some A-grade trolling right there. That is some witness shit. Is that going to get rid of the thing? It is nice. Alright, in we go. Let's insert disc 1. Is this door closed again? It is. We're going to see the same communications animation again. It's like someone was just in here doing something. And by again, this could be the first time that I'm passing through here with this save game, so maybe that's actually legit the first time I'm seeing this. We're always having multiple saves. And it's about to get much worse. Alright, let me just see if there's anything in this teleporter here. Well, I assume it's a teleporter. This thing here. It's either a teleporter or a survey room, or something similar to what we saw on the map island. I can't imagine anything will change here. This has to be something, but what? Maybe I need to get an item and then come back. Don't know. Okay, is the bridge down? I don't know if I can tell from here. Excuse me. Judging by the way this way is facing, I'm guessing it is up. Turn around, can I see it? God, not that. It's fine, I can tell from here. Let's go over there, please. You know what I'm trying to do, game. It looks like it is down. Yeah. Alright, let's raise this thing. I then need to make a save. And then I've got some talking to do. I don't want to be here. So, hang on. These two rooms are next to each other, so I have to go this way. I've got to go out the main entrance and then rotate it. Turn around and push this button a few times. And now he waits. Golden Gats, how you doing, dude? Thank you for dropping in as always. That will get me to the top of the dome. And apparently there are notes on how to solve this in the diary in the room. I'll take another look at that shortly. But I think they're too vague enough that I would not have got this. Go back up. Go over there. Have they restored themselves? No, they're over here. Right, so I would not have seen this without guidance. Similar to the way that I did not see the silhouette, I would not have seen this without someone telling me. Or heavily adjusting the contrast of the image. So there are faint lines here. There's a faint dark line here, up and down, and to the right. There is a faint dark line all the way across here. There is a vertical line here. And there is a faint line here. And the guide says, and I completely agree, that this is basically identical to the map that we saw on Map Island. That you look out over the balcony and you see all of these buttons and you can push them. So these represent the islands. What we have to do, and I would not have got this under any circumstances, is we need to place these marbles at the positions of the spinning domes on each island. Now I've got two logistical issues here. The first is I don't know which island corresponds to which colour, or which dome corresponds to each colour rather. I do have some footage from day 2 that I'm going to look at with you and try and figure that out because I cannot be bothered going back. The second issue I've got is there are 5 islands, but we have 6 domes, not counting this one. So basically what I'm going to do here is make a save. Not like that. Still playing Riven, is it any good? Compared to Myst? No. I don't like this one. Let me grab a screenshot of that because I'm going to need it. This is Dome Island. I suspect the dome is here. The gold dome is roughly where we're standing, I think. I think the dome's up there, so hopefully this screenshot that I'm taking, these 6 marbles, do not interfere. Just going to make this image slightly larger on the right. Absolute size, make it 8,000 pixels. No, do not I want you to make the canvas larger. Do not resize the image. A Baseline Paint.net canvas size. There we go. 8,000. There we go. Let's enlarge you a bit. I have made a save here. And that save exists. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take a break and bring up my Firefox window. Because I'm going to artificially pad the stats on my channel now and look at my footage from the other day. Bear with me. Channel contents number 2. Let's open that in a private window. Let's mute myself. I don't want to hear myself. And I'll show you what I'm looking at now. So my notes look something like this. I've taken a screenshot of this set of marbles here. And my goal is to figure out which dome corresponds to which color. Now I did note very early that, which window is it? In Sequel to Myst YouTube, it is that one there. Let me just full screen that. And then hit that. So what I'm looking for here is when the domes stop spinning. The map island is here. Yeah, this is a thing. So this little panel we see down the bottom there, that is what we were just looking at the top of the dome with the marbles. That pattern there, where it's broken up into the various islands. I don't know about this one on the top right. That one scares me. Shortly after this, though, I found a spinning dome. I need to cough my lungs up. That's me undoing it. Do we see the color here? I'm not certain we see the color on that. We definitely saw it on the other domes because I was looking at it going, yeah, okay, this is green, this is whatever, but this one I don't know about. Right, well, I'm going back there soon, so maybe I can reactivate it and take another look. Alright, so Map Island, I have no idea. Back on Dome Island, I'm pretty sure it was green, but let me check. Thought I found it pretty quickly when I went back. No, I spent ages looking at the code. Okay, that's the code. Yeah, okay, this is what I want to see. So this is the one on Dome Island. And it looks like it turns yellow. It shows that circle and the full stop. Which I believe is green, but I'll check that in a moment. That's me. That's me checking it right now. Although, what am I doing here? I don't know. I actually don't know what I'm doing here. If I unmute myself, I could probably hear myself, but I don't want to do that. This is green, though. I'm 99.99% certain it's green. Fades out, and we see that. Let me just bring up paint again. So if I look at the colors somewhere over here, yeah, that one I said is green. So what that tells me is that over on the marbles here, this island here is green. Really should use the line tool for this. It tells me the green dome, or the green marble, needs to go in one of these points here. And that's what I get out of that. Let me just take a look at the end of this stream, because I'm reasonably certain that at the end we found the one on Jungle Island. There it is, right there. And I'm pretty sure this one was red. It's sort of turning yellow when it goes vertical and also when it goes horizontal. So hopefully, when I click this, hurry up and click it, you moron. There we go. What's it going to show at the end? It shows that. Now that color is... I'll see you in a moment. No, that color is yellow. Because bear in mind, when we rotate it around here, it's going to turn itself so that it's horizontal. And no, it's not yellow. It's not yellow because it doesn't have the vertical line. It does not have the vertical line here. If I can bring it up. There we go. It doesn't have this vertical line. It only has a dot in the center. It's not there on the yellow thing, so... yeah, it's red. So that's telling me the red marble needs to go on this island somewhere. I'm pretty sure I remember where it is. It's somewhere on the left-hand side here in one of these quadrants. Computer is chugging. Alright, so we've got 2 islands remaining. We've got the Boiler Island. I remember where the dome is there. We need to visit that. And I've looked here, but I don't know what color it is, according to that footage. Which, I'm going to be blunt, that terrifies the hell out of me, because that means I've got no idea what to do. Okay. Let me just get rid of that. I've got to switch back to the game and close... well, do I need to close that window? I'll just grab that URL. Right. Playing the game again. So, I need to go back to the map island. I'll pass by the Boiler Island first though, and see if I can figure out that dome. I saw it spinning, and then I walked away from it. I remember that much. does mean, however, to get back here, or to get back to the other side, I've got to push this 3 times. So the challenges are, got 6 marbles, 5 islands. Do we need 6 marble? What the hell colour is the one out in the middle of nowhere? And what the hell colour is the one at Map Island? Once again though, if I don't see anything on the way, my intent is to abuse save states and just make a save over there, then load and come back here and place the marbles. Because honestly at this point, I don't think there are any other puzzles to solve or places to see and go. Yeah, we need to get out this way. That one's directly ahead of us is green. I'm certain of it. The one on the village is red. And I am thinking that the one that I've marked as no colour, and potentially the one that was written in the journal as no colour, that might be purple, but I'm not sure. We don't have proof of that. Back to the boiler. Struggling to make it out. I can't make that out. What is that? Okay, I think it's the one with the horizontal line. Could be yellow. No, that looks vertical. That looks vertical. I don't think it's a vertical line. It could be blue. Although I do see this, no, that pattern doesn't help. I just see horizontal lines here, I don't see vertical lines. There might be a vertical section right now, but I cannot make it out. And by that, I mean you can't see anything right now because I have the wrong scene up. Trying to manage this is a pain in the ass. So, I can see horizontals here. And then something happens, maybe that's a vertical section, and then it goes back to horizontal, narrows down to nothing, then it expands. Horizontal expanding, then it goes vertical perhaps. Horizontal shrinking, horizontal expanding, vertical maybe. I cannot make out what that is. There should be a switch around here, though. Okay, I understand why that's there. That'll make sense shortly. Do that again. That's either blue or the no color. Sneaky. Very sneaky. Fuck. Climbing up or... Oh my god. Just like that, I'm lost. What's I looking at? I think I was looking at that upper part there and just going, what the fuck is that? Yeah, it's a hole in the wall. It didn't look like a hole in the wall on the other side, though. It looked like a keyhole. Right, are you going to tell me what it is? Yes. That's the no color, I think. Just going to keep mashing that until it works. Come on. Oh, come the fuck on. It's worked on all of the other ones, why is it not working here? There we go. It's a timing thing. Can I assume that's purple? Apologies, you missed that rotation, but you honestly didn't miss much. So, could that be purple? I'm going to go out on a limb and say that it's purple. Because it's not any of the other colours. Purple please. Okay. I can't look through there. We're so far beyond confused at this point. Me too, don't worry. Colors and symbols and numbers. Oh my god, the fucking numbers. Let me talk to you about the numbers very quickly. I'm pissed off about this. Why anyone thought this would be a good idea is beyond me. So the way the numbering system works, I thought I had this cracked. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then 5 plus 1 is 6. So 1 is a vertical line there. You add that to, why didn't that show up? No, I've got nothing selected game. Thank you. By game, I mean paint.net. Why is this shit not working? I have nothing selected. I would like to draw a line. On the fucking background layer. So 5 plus 1 is 6. Like that. Likewise, 2 plus this horizontal line here, that's 2 plus that horizontal line, that's 7, that's all good. No, I was completely wrong. The way it works is there's 5 numbers, 1 being 0, which I did not consider, not 1 being 0, but you know, there's a 0 number here. So this means 0. And then you get 1, 2, 3, 4. And then to get to 5, what you do is you rotate this sideways. You rotate it 90 degrees to the left and you get a horizontal line there. And then you add 5 plus 1, you get that, and that. And then for 10, you rotate it horizontally 90 degrees and you multiply it by 5. So this here 10, that there is the 2, but rotated. And if you rotate it, you get times 5, you get 2 times 5, which is 10. That is how 15 works. What you do with 15 is you take the 3 and you rotate it, and that there is basically the identical symbol to that, but you multiply it by 5 because you're rotating it. So this symbol here plus that one there is 16, which I eventually figured out. Likewise, if you draw that curve now, you get 17. But I did not fathom for a moment that there was rotation involved. I just saw this symbol here and thought, yeah, okay, that means 15. How are you supposed to figure that out? I don't know. I consider myself reasonably smart when it comes to this sort of stuff, but this shit is so far beyond me, it's unbelievable. It's fucked, honestly. Either that or I'm just getting really old. Right, let's crack this using the numbering system that we just discussed. 17, 16. Surinkakis, if you're wondering, the code for this is in a book, and they're written using those symbols. Right, if I hit that, that should open. Gotta be fucking kidding me. Am I just dumb? This worked for the other 2 domes. It worked for the one here, and it worked for the one here. It's not working here, and it's not working there. Why have I written 8 there? I redid my notes. Why did I write 8 there? That's fucking 10, you moron. Oh my god. That's why the other one's not working. I can't read my own damn notes. Oh my god. Why did I write 8? That's unbelievable. That's terrible. Looking at going, hang on, that's not the symbol for 8. Right, we're going back to Map Island shortly so I can test it. This will work now. Is this book broken? I expect it is. I expect there to be no guiding image here. If there is a guiding image, then I'm in big trouble. Yep, good. Book is broken. Worst part about this is I feel that Myst was a reasonably inoffensive game. I did read a bit of the discourse about that people thought it destroyed the adventure genre and whatnot, but Myst was okay, really. This one, I don't know. What does it mean that the book is broken? So these books are called linking books, and you look at the image on them and it takes you to a faraway place, to another world. What we're seeing though with these books is it just shows a black image. That's what I mean by they're broken, they don't work. Guiding image is missing, and I don't know if it talks about guiding images here. Oh, now it's showing up. What the fuck? Oh, okay. That's what we got from the other place. What the hell? Is that Catherine? Okay, yeah, this is a book that's working, and I suspect if I use it, I'll be rewinding very shortly. Disc 5. That's death. Credits? Like, I wish these fuckers would just speak English. Is that Gurn? Oh. I was expecting you to stab me with that, but no, you've hit me with a trank dart or something.
Forgive me. I don't believe we've met. I am Gen, and you must be the one whom Atris sent to trap me. I don't know where you got the brilliant idea to trap yourself in the book, but I must tell you that I am quite disappointed that it is you and not Atris who must now pay the price for this foolishness. My one wish before I die would be to see him finally assume some responsibility for his actions. Perhaps it will happen one day. In the meantime, you have my sympathies.
Hopefully that's credits, or main menu. Alright, we have a trap book. Right. I don't care, fellas. This is not why I came in here. Catherine's journal, Catherine's letter. I guess that was given to us by the lady. Was that Catherine? I don't know. Not that. Yeah, I'm struggling to understand the story of this game. And I'm playing it and paying attention. Gateway image has become noticeably clearer. There were similar books in the first game. Basically, there were two books, the red book and the blue book, and one of Atris's sons, two sons, were trapped in the books, and Atris intentionally trapped his sons in the books. And the idea behind the first game is you have to collect the pages to restore the books, and then they say, read the book, complete the book, and then you get trapped in the book and the person inside the book gets out. Talks about linking books. Linking books basically let you teleport to different places, and that's what the trap book is. Prison book. I don't know if Gurn is inside the prison book or not. I really don't. I'm guessing he is, given that we turned up inside a cage and he was directly in front of us. Whatever. I'll read those journals shortly. Because I want to take a look at this one again. And then I want to scream about this switch inside this room. I'm not happy about that. So apparently the clues to the marbles are in here. I don't believe that though. Excuse me. That looks like the small island. Crystal the powers of the books. The villagers, the poison. The frogs. Is this talking about the villagers that are in the other place? Under Catherine's leadership. The villagers were under Catherine's leadership. Terror tactics. The Black Moiety. Yep, that's the code to all of the various domes, so... What is it? Instruction on a series of link sites for each island that will connect Riven with your new office on the 98th age, or whatever that is. The Survey Guild has finally completed the site location for each island. According to my exact specifications, installation of domes, the spinning domes, is underway at last. Work on the central power source got off to a bit of a bad start. That is the massive gold dome. Work has picked up. And due to the rebels' continued disturbances, you've decided to install a coded access system to all of the domes. 4, 10, 11, 16, 17. So these things are going to teleport us to the other ages, or the 98th age, I should say. But when we open the dome and look at the book, guiding image is broken. The book doesn't work. So these domes were teleporters. Got us. Or the book inside was, whatever. Yep, you're doing your research in that faraway place, but you seem to have been trapped inside this book that we're holding. Yeah, so I finally made a breakthrough, succeeded in modifying the fire marbles to generate enough power to hold a descriptive linking book in a stable matrix. This apparently is the clue that solves the marble puzzle, but I mean, this here is the color. You see, yep, those are colors, and we figured that out on Survey Island. Number 5. You get down to the color. Near color symbology reflects a superior design. Although superficially it is based on a 6 color system, I'm convinced that there has to be a deeper connection to 5. There is a 6 color, and we've seen those 6 colors in marbles. If you were somehow able to supply the books with a power source of sufficient magnitude, that's what's being done with the domes, you could suppress the variance enough to facilitate a solid link. Perhaps you could adapt the fire marbles. Is that saying we have to put the fire marbles in the correct spot so that we power the domes? That's all I get out of that. Okay. I haven't seen anything new here, so I can definitely load the game. But get a load of this. Is it here? It is not. Is it here? That's fucked, honestly. Why would you put the call to this thing in the office and not, you know, right next to it like you did with all of the other ones? Well, apart from that one over at Village Island, but you know what I mean. Thing is, when you first enter that place, you come in through the vents. You don't go through the front door. I thought that was to unlock the door. That would make sense, wouldn't it? But nothing about this fucking game makes sense. Alright, I can make some progress here. I can make some progress on this puzzle. I need to... No, I don't need to spin this. Go out this way. Going this way, going upstairs. Just going to zip all the way here. Going up. First things first, let me check out that dome. Now that I know how to open it, that 8 is not 10. What the fuck was I thinking? That makes me question a lot of things about myself. $11, 10, 4. So these domes hold the books which link to different ages. We have to shut down the domes to access them. Presumably while the domes are spinning, the books are active, but it was mentioned in the book that we just read that maybe the fire marbles can be used. That, I suspect, is how you're supposed to figure this out, but that's way too complex for me. I can't do that. Yep. As suspected, that book is also not working. So when we get the fire marbles going, does that mean we can enter the 98th age or whatever it is from any of these locations? Because if so, that's terrifying. No idea what that water sound was for. Alright, let's make some progress. Actually, let me go over here first and see if I can't determine the colour. I don't think I can. There's two things I can try doing. I can try using the viewfinder again, and then turning it off. If that doesn't work though, then maybe I can approach this and see if I can determine the colour as it's spinning. I can probably brute force one of the colours, I don't know about two. If I switch this back on, it's going to turn the dome back on. So maybe the linking book is working now, I'm not sure. Is there something covering the cap maybe? So I cannot see the colours here. Now twist this thing. I did note the first time I looked at this, it looked a bit skew-if. Like it's not standing up straight. That would make sense that it's not pointing at exactly the right spot. If I was looking at the dome, we'd be able to see the symbols, but we can't see the symbols. So let me go this way now. It would be lovely if I could see the symbol here, but I don't think it is spinning slow enough that we can see it. I want to say horizontal line. It's not green. It's not the dot. That's my notes. That's orange. The horizontal line there is orange. That's gonna be my guess. I can't confirm that, but I reckon that there is a horizontal line. It's very hard to make out though. But based on the pattern there, that seems pretty solid that that is a horizontal line. Okay, let me rewind back here. Before we futzed around with the viewfinder. Let's go around there. And go back to my notes. So this island here, the map island. That one there is Owanjan. I already saw the marbles get up along somewhere around there, but spoiling it. Right, so that one there is either yellow or blue. The yellow dome's in the middle there, but it takes up multiple places, so maybe it's blue? I don't know. I'm going to guess blue first, but it could be yellow. To me, yellow would be the largest dome. Alright, which one do I have selected at the moment? Alright, this is Village Island, and what I'm looking for is the position of the dome. And the way this works... we just put that back down. This here is a 5x5 grid down in this little center section here. Well, center. Bottom section here. And in the center, we also have a 5x5 grid. I think the dome was here. It is. That's the dome there. We don't see the village around us, but that is the dome that we saw at the upper level of the village. So the way to interpret this, and again, I don't think I would have got this under any circumstances, is that we need to look at this image and say, yep, okay, this island here, that island which we're looking at here, this huge blob of shit here, that here is the island that we're looking at on the bottom of the map here. You can see that's the shape of the island. It's got that little dinky part here and then a 3x3 grid on the right hand side. We have this grid selected at the moment. That's what we got selected. And the dome is here in what looks like the top right, one in. It's in column 4, row 2. One in from the corner. So without looking at the image to say what the solution exactly is, I believe that means, if I've got everything correct, the red marble has to go here. How do I even draw that? I draw a circle? No, I can draw a circle. The red marble has to go there. That is my understanding. If that is not the answer, then I'm not terribly interested in finding the solution. We have to do the same for the other 4 islands, and that means I just need to go back out here. I did spot this naturally going through this place last night, that if we fiddle with the settings out here, then it changes what we're looking at in here. So yeah, the village island is currently selected, Jungle Island. I'm going to select the map island now, which is where we're on. I can't skip this animation, unfortunately. The thing is, we don't see anything on the islands other than the domes on the map. We don't see the village, we don't see the bridges. It's like it's a very primitive form, but having said that, the domes were being built. So you assume at that point that the villages and the bridges and whatever else existed. It's very strange. Let's turn around. And we need to do the same for this island. If I recall correctly, it's here. It's right on the edge between these two. I mean, we're just there. So we are here right now. But directly in the center here, that's a little bit too high for my liking. If I go here, do we see the dome on the edge on the right? We do. Column 1, second row. I think that's the second row. It's got to be, right? Yeah, there's a sheer drop here, which is the 5th row. So, sheer drop, that's 5, that's 4, that's the middle, that's 2. So, first column, second row. That's what I get out of that. Hopefully that's correct. If not, I'm not looking up again. So this means that it is on this here, in this square. Don't have enough hands for this. First column, second row, the orange one goes here. I hope I've got that right. If not, I'm just going to bring up the PNG and just solve them and just copy it. Right, let's do boiler next, and I can already see the problem here. Hopefully, though, it's not that hard. The only major problem I've got with this island is that it's one square. Or it's a square island, I should say. And rotating it around may confuse me a bit unless I can see a landmark. Right, so it's up on the top left at the moment, which I assume is its, I'll call it, default location. Like, I can rotate this, and I would be none the wiser as to which side is which. Although, look at that. Yeah, okay, that tells me the answer immediately. I did actually see that the first time I looked at it and thought, that's unusual. There's no other landmarks here. Oh boy. I hope this is the correct orientation, because if not, I'm screwed. But that's an easy solve. Second column, 4th row on the top left. So, if this is purple, and I think it is, because what else makes sense? We're in the top left row. Second column, 4th row, here. That's where the purple marble goes. I think. It's a little bit offline, but I don't care. Alright, we need to figure out the green one now. I'll take a look at the large dome as well, but I don't think the large dome is anything. If it is, I'll be shocked. Things I would have expected one of these to be yellow, so I'm thinking maybe the last island here is blue. Yeah, the massive dome takes up at least 2 spaces here. That's where we started, I recognise that. That is the entrance to the dome. I think the smaller dome is going to be, well, it has to be here, correct? No, not there. Here. There it is. So where is that? Top left corner. That makes it very easy. So we're looking at this square here. And top left corner means that the green marble goes there. Once again, assuming I've got it correct. What about the last one? Yeah, once again, I want to be clear. I would not have got this without help. If you're wondering, the one on the boiler island, the dome is underground, and when we looked up from the dome, we saw a hole in the sky. And that hole showed up on the map. Come on, let me zip over there, please. Alright, so where is this one? Best part about this is I'm going to load immediately once we do this. Click on there. Where is that? First row, second column. I'm going to bother rotating that further. So this one up on the top right. I'll just use cyan here, but I assume it's blue, so it is this one here. God, not that. Hopefully I've got that correct. That is definitely the dome location. It's a little bit hard to see, it's much smaller than the other domes, but it is there. Right, so now that we've done all this, let me make a save. And let me load back here. So what I need to do now is replicate this on that. It's going to start by getting rid of this yellow one. I don't believe, or the yellow one is either going to go there or the blue one's going to go there. I don't know. Let's put the blue one here. The green one goes at the very top left corner here. Is that correct? I don't know. The red one goes here. Orange one goes on the edge here on the second row. The purple one goes in the bottom, no, top left quadrant here under row 4, column 2 there. I think that's it. Well, let me be blunt. If that's not it, I don't care. I'm looking it up. Okay. I get something wrong. Let me try swapping out blue and yellow. I don't hear or see anything different. Let's check my notes again. I think I've got everything correct there. Taking one last look and then I'm looking it up. That have been on 3 and not 2. It wasn't in a sensor. I'd remember if it was in a sensor. Where's my Twitch VOD? I'm looking this up. I really want to try getting this without looking at the freaking solution. Me. Channel. Alright, so I'm now looking up my own Twitch VOD to try and determine the answer. Oh my god. Drawing lines. Going to Boiler Island first. I need to go to the map. Got trapped in a book. I need to read Catherine's journal. I'll do that shortly. Once I solve this puzzle, I'll read it, I promise. The dome. Color. Still not entirely sold that that's purple, but that seems like the logical answer. Okay, I'm looking at the red one. Village Island, or whatever it is. It is definitely in this position here. That is a lock. It is one in from the corner, so the red marble, I believe, is placed in the correct location. I'm now about to look at the orange marble. Which I had my doubts about that, but I'm looking at it again. It is right on the edge, and it is not in the center. It is definitely here. That's the orange marble. Taking a look at Boiler Island now. We're looking at the top left corner. It is definitely in the second column, fourth row. That's where the crate is located. It's possible that needs rotation, but I don't know. It's one in from the corners there, so the purple one I believe is in the correct location. Assuming that color is purple. Taking a look at Dome Island now, and yeah, this one is right in the corner. Right there. And then the final island. Seeing myself making my save games. We pop up the island. Dome could be somewhere else on that island, I guess, but I don't think so. I rotated it once, I didn't see it, so... Unless I've got one of the colours wrong, I don't know about this. Alright, so I'm going to look at the hints because I've spent long enough on this. I've tried. I've made an effort, I promise. But I don't know about this one. Dome Island. Marble puzzle. Where are all of the domes? What is the colour of the dome on workshop? What is the colour of the dome on prison? Thank you for the spoiler. Where on the map is the workshop island dome? Yeah, we figured that out. Marble puzzle solution. I'm clicking it. Alright, well, this is embarrassing. Apparently I got it right the first time. Apparently that was correct. This looks correct. Unless I'm colorblind. Let me just try this again. Are any of these yellow? No, that solution looks correct. I don't hear or see anything different though. Am I losing my mind? Am I losing my marbles? Oh, so going to the sensor now, has anything changed? Supplying power, perhaps? Let's go this way and turn it. Yeah, I'm looking at the solution PNG and it looks identical to what I just put in. Have I got red and... I'm slightly colorblind. Have I got red and... No, red and orange are in the correct positions. What did it say after that? Go back and pull the lever just next to the marble grid. And then press the white button that the lever is hiding. Was a lever? I don't think so, but okay. It's alright, I'll load again in a sec. Go back and pull the lever just next to the marble grid. What lever next to the marble grid? I don't see a lever here. Go back and pull the lever just next to the marble grid. Okay, I see what I was meant to do. There's two interactable points here. Oh man, fuck that. I'm not happy about that. Mind you, I'm rarely ever happy, chat. Alright, so now that I've pushed this at least once, I've got to push it about 4 more times, and then I've got to come back and push it about 3 more times. I've got to push that button. Fuck. I tried pushing that a couple of times, but it was just flipping the lever up and down. Christ almighty. So, once we've done that, what next? Maybe this dome will start spinning? But I assume this is going to activate the books in the domes. I'll be able to go to the various domes, such as the one on the right there, and then check them out. If I'm understanding what was written in that journal correctly, then this is going to activate the books, link to the 98th age or whatever it is, and then we'll be able to go places. Alright, we're back here. For the sole purpose of pushing this button. Will this dome start rotating? I'd take that as a no, but something just happened. Also, I still don't have a clue what to do with that frigging telescope downstairs. Maybe I should check that out before I go and before I go back into the power plant or whatever it is here. Push this 3 more times. Then we can access the dome again. Maybe we'll see the things in there have changed, and then perhaps I can access the spinning dome on the right hand side with the book and see if it works. And if that don't work, then I'm probably going to load up a full walkthrough because I've had enough of this. And in between getting that correct the first time, with help, mind you, and also getting the codes to the domes correct and not realizing, I've just had a very rough time with this game, honestly. It's nowhere near as much fun, or it's nowhere near as fulfilling as what we did in Myst. Right, so that's in position. Let me just try turning around first, going back to the start. Has anything changed around here? That thing's still very locked, and I've got no idea what the code might be to get inside. No clue. Alright, let's try the dome. Big dome first. That machinery underneath it in the center is directly underneath those marbles, so maybe something's happened. That dome on the wall directly ahead of us is still exposed. Most of them are, most of them were opened. I suspect they are now powered. I was expecting very little and I'm still disappointed. No change? What if I go over here? What if I look at this thing? Is this telling me anything? I think it just tells me which pipe leads where. Although I don't understand how we can have a pipe leading to the same island that we're currently on, but Riven, the sequel to Myst, works in mysterious ways. Let me try going this way. And by this way, I mean I've got to go back down. I've got to rotate the room again, don't I? I've got to go across here, back into the rotating room, and then I need to... where do I have to go? Do I have to lower the ladder? I think I do, don't I? No, I'm talking bullshit, never mind. I unlocked his shortcut for a reason. I can go this way. Like, how do I get down these stairs? You just walk down the fucking stairs, you moron. It's a bit of a long walk, though. I'm hoping at the end of it, it will lead me to a book which, you know, works. Right, we're directly below the catwalk where we were just looking. Turn right here. Push this switch. I'm still not certain what powered that switch. I don't think it was the switch up ahead that we pushed, because that appears to power the ladder that leads to the top of the dome. Right. I'm hoping this book works now. If it doesn't, then I'm out of ideas. Because that's literally what these are being described as. They're teleporters to the 98th age, or whatever it's called. And they've been locked away. They didn't have enough juice in them. But the book mentioned using the fire marbles to make them work or increase the power or something. We've seen that. Does it work? I'll take that as a yes. And that's what we saw in the background of that area when we used the trap book. So his office is located here. And we've seen that in the notes. We saw a sketch of that. Right. I mentioned I'd do this earlier, I forgot. Catherine's journal. We picked this up when we went to that prison place. I linked to Riven a week ago. The smell of the place overwhelmed me moments before I could see anything. With my sight only partially cleared, I stood motionless, peering ahead through a dim veil which was slowly lifting. There was a violent clang and bars appeared. I remember breathing slowly and very deeply, tasting the familiar Riven air, but not recognizing a thing. I must have been hit with the dart right away. I thought it was an insect bite at first. I'm trying to remember it all, but it's difficult. Maybe because of the drug. There was a voice. A man I did not recognize stood before me. Rivenese, though he was wearing knee dress. He seemed to be talking to me, but the poison was already taking effect. A shadow crept in and I fell asleep, whatever, too much window gear. Then there were the many voices, but I understood none of them, like hundreds of people whispering. I couldn't wake up. Wake up, I can barely read, I can barely talk, I'm tired. No matter, the dream did end. And now to be here with Essie. It's been so many years. I didn't realize how much I missed her. Like a piece of me that I'd forgotten I'd lost. Is that the person who gave us these journals, perhaps? She's beautiful, and so full of warmth. But the years have also left her with a wound, which was not there when we were children. I do wish she were more interested. It seems like I'm asking all the questions. It's awkward. No one asks me where I've been, or what I've been doing. This hurts, but I understand it. Their beliefs are born out of ignorance and oppression. They are a gentle people, but they've had their nest destroyed, and now they forensically cling to anything that might save them. But why have they chosen to cling to me? I'm confused. Me too. As a child, I always felt out of place here. I never belonged. They misunderstood me, and I couldn't relate to them. But now, I'm overwhelmed by an intense feeling that I owe everything to them and this place. I thought I would never see them again. And yes, I'm here. I've been given this second chance. But a second chance at what? Saving them? Fulfilling their prophecies? Being their savior? Eclipse sun, maybe? Don't know what to make of that. The moiety. We saw that in the journal. That's the villagers were referring to themselves as the moiety. Atris would want me to chronicle all that I've learned. I can at least record some of it. It seems that when Atris and I trapped Gurn on Riven many years ago, our efforts were witnessed by most of the inhabitants there. 2 of the Rivenese even witnessed a confrontation with Gurn at the fissure. Where's the fissure? Where I linked back to Myst, and where Atris threw himself into the abyss. Of course, they understood little of what they were seeing, but they somehow were able to guess that we had won. That Gurn was no god at all, but only a feeble impostor, a false god, and that we had trapped him here on Riven. I always hoped they would deduce this simple truth, but their further conclusions have astonished me. Just briefly, I assume that's who we were looking at in the rotating room through the beetles, the godly images of Gurn. Alright. Atris had stripped Gurn of his power, therefore Atris must be a true god. As a god, he was choosing me, the spiritual misfit from a Rivenese womb, to be his wife. I thought Atris and Catherine were husband and wife, but whatever. I was transcending into deity and would lord over Riven forever. Thus, the moiety, as they call themselves, were born, a dissident society, sworn enemies of Gurn. I did not know of their beliefs regarding Atris and myself until 2 days ago. Hetty was, for some reason, hesitant to tell me. I can't figure out why. I know she doesn't believe these things. Really? Of course, everyone else assumed that I would be aware of my own god status, so they made no effort to inform me. I only realized it at a recent gathering to which I was invited. I sat at the front of a dimly lit and crowded cave as they told a mythical story of my own life, acting out the battle between Atris, myself, and Gurn at the edge of the fissure. The events have been exaggerated into grandiose proportions. It was offensive, but I was unable to stop it. I was unable to break the illusion, which is the very foundation of their hope and purpose, and which has given them courage to band together and rebel against Gurn. That sort of lines up with what was written in the book, that Catherine was their leader. Since then, I've learned of other doctrines and beliefs that have evolved, the most disturbing of which is the conviction that one day I would return to Riven to free them. Some believe that I will overthrow Gurn. Others believe that I will bring them to paradise. I don't know how to deal with this. I fight it myself. I love these people, my only real kindred, but they will not love me as an equal, which hurts me. I would rather be their slave than their master. Poison dagger, I don't think that's anything, but we can revisit this in the menu if needed. Over the years, as Gurn's power has become greater and greater, the moiety's numbers have grown, and they have become more and more adept at hiding themselves. They now live in a complex network of caves that he has still not discovered. Whatever. The moiety, for the most part, have completely severed their relationship with any of the Rivenese that chose against joining them. But I hope they've not sacrificed vital limbs in order to remove the cancer. Even Father and Nat, who's that, are still on the surface in Gurn's domains, and I long to see them, but a stretched dimness shrouds Etty's face every time I've mentioned them. Since this break took place, they have interfered with the surface in superficial ways, occasionally sabotaging one of Gurn's constructions or stealing food from the villagers. They wear strange masks and costumes during their short forays to the island's surface, and take this regalia very seriously, refusing to be seen by anyone outside the moiety unless they are properly attired. Who are we talking about here? The Rivenese? The moiety severed their relationship with the Rivenese. Catherine is, I don't want to say in cahoots, but the moiety worship her. I assume the Rivenese are the ones who are wearing strange masks and costumes. They come to the surface, but I thought the, where is it? The moiety's numbers have grown, They now live in a complex network of caves that he has still not discovered. Okay, so the Moisi are underground and they're coming up to the surface? That's very hard to parse. Whatever. They get much pleasure out of the fact that those on the surface are frightened by these costumes, calling them evil spirits or ghosts. It was during one of these expeditions they fortuitously rescued me from one of Gurn's guards when I first appeared on the island. Otherwise, I'm sure I would have been delivered to Gurn immediately. I've no doubt that he's now searching for me. Of course, I am now aware that I was fooled. Atris is not here. I was, at first, devastated by this realization. Now I am thankful. He would be in extreme peril here. Also, there is a quiet inner voice, an echoing remnant that wants him far away. Don't know what that image is. I have just witnessed an age dying, gasping its last breath. Today, I ventured to the surface to see what has become of this island. I hoped it would not be as bad as the Moisi had reported. It was worse. They have become slowly accustomed to its steady decay, but I was devastated. The lips from which the kisses rose, as fallen words will fall cold breath. The womb from which the cry released, as suffered hurt, will suffer death. To get to the surface, we had to travel through a complex series of doors and passages. Oh god, I need to take notes here, don't I? Before the last of these doors, they offered me a weapon, which I accepted, and then a mask. I held the mask in my hands for a while, wondering what sort of terror it might invoke in those members of my family who still live on the surface. But I also knew I must keep my identity hidden from Gurn's ever-vigilant eye, so I accepted it as well. Then together, we swam a short expanse and emerged out of the surface of the ocean under a rocky overhang. The harsh sunlight made my eyes sting, but the fresh, rich air was exhilarating after these past weeks in the dank caves. The two men with me were silent, communicating only with hand signals. The three of us emerged from our hiding place and made our way to the top of the plateau. At the edge of a thick and overgrown area of the forest, they stopped, peered through the foliage for a moment, and then turned to me as if awaiting my command. But I could not respond. In fact, I found it difficult to move. I was smelling, hearing, and breathing my youth. That looks like Jungle Island. So what, there's caves on Jungle Island? Maybe? This swept over me in a matter of seconds, but in seconds more, all feeling was gone. There was numbness. You were attacked, weren't you? No. We did not stay long on the surface, but it was long enough to see the worst. Riven, which was once one island, here we go, has split apart into 5 distinct pieces, about a half a mile apart. 4 of these have been claimed by Gurn as his exclusive domain. Only his ministers and personal militia are ever allowed access to them. From my vantage point, at the edge of the forest, I can see 3 of these islands. They are stripped of their former beauty and are riddled with Gurn's self-absorbed constructions. The Moisi rarely visit these closely guarded places. There is another island which I could not see, as it had evidently crept away to a terrific distance. The Moisi are very unclear as to what exists on this island, except for the fact that they know it is where the great tree used to exist. I would have to think that's a small island, because you'll be able to see the workshop, or the boiler, and the dome, and the survey island, surely. The forest is located on the island The forest is located on the island that the surface dwellers and the Moisi still refer to as Riven, but they also still refer to their entire world as Riven. This island is where the village is, which has changed dramatically. Yeah, okay, look at this. So we've got the village, which may have caves under it. I mean, we see a surface dwelling there, but we can't access anyone there. But maybe there's some caves underneath that we can access. That's the map island, that's the boiler, and that's the dome. It is also the one remaining province of the people, though Gurn's influence can be seen everywhere. Of course, I know the reason for the fracturing of the island. The Moisi do not. Gurn rose to this place, and it will die, as all of Gurn's ages eventually die. I feel nothing today. Well, how much more? Oh my fucking god. Oh my fucking god. Oh no. What the fuck? How many more pages? There's at least 20 pages. Oh my god. That's 34 pages. What the actual fuck? I feel nothing today. Me too. I feel nothing. I live in a cave on a dying world inhabited by people that they're treating me so strangely. They don't know how to relate to a god. I'm still an outcast here. They whisper amongst themselves, talking of my bravery during my excursion to the surface, how I walked across the island, bold and unafraid. They don't know me. Even Izzy is uncomfortable. At times there is no awkwardness. I'm only Catalan. What the fuck does that mean? I'm afraid there's such a gaunt and numbness inside me today. I do not feel closest with my people. I do not hate Gurn, I don't feel anything. I'm not even sure if at least Nella is still close. I don't think this image is anything. I did see an image further down though. I am boiling, I am. Gurn is making and writing books, yeah, we know about that. I wish they had told me sooner. Atris should have realised this would happen, of course. Gurn would have written all of the materials necessary to the neat craft of making books into this age, and probably every other age he ever wrote. He's attempting to write his way out of here. We have not imprisoned him, we only delayed him. This age has become his factory and the people are his machines, all labouring in his mad pursuit to become a god, to carry on his noble knee cause. So far he has not been able to produce a fully functional book. Atris never believed in destiny, blah blah blah, it's too perfect, too much of a coincidence. Coinkydink. They hang on to my every word that they do not understand them. I am their hope, now I have returned, I owe this to them, there is no choice. What is that? Don't know. Okay. This is important. It is hard to recognise, but I found a star fissure. It is located on the island which the Rivenese call Aleppo, meaning water pool. I assume that is the small island. Water pool. It could also be a boiler, but I doubt it. I'm going to take a screenshot of that. That may actually be important. There is a contraption on the boiler which may look like that, so maybe... I mean, the boiler is a massive water pool. Maybe that's something. Oh my god. I can't believe there's so much text here. But which is referred to by Moisey as Alatwan, meaning pool of stars. Having once allowed Atris to escape, without leaving an open door behind us, it has been sealed with a skin of heavy iron. A crude telescope has been mounted over a locked viewport. Wait, what? It's not on this island. This isn't a pool of stars. You have found a star fissure. It is located on the island. Is that a telescope? It sure as hell looks like it. That's the hatch. What is that though? I've seen a button there. Oh, that's probably the thing that just lowers and raises it. Having once allowed Atris to escape this age without leaving an open door behind us, it has since been sealed with a skin of heavy iron. I can't read. Iron, fuck me. A crude telescope has been mounted over a locked viewport, the combination to which was acquired by the Moiety before my arrival. The early days, Moiety, seeking an escape from Riven, briefly pursued the idea of reopening the fissure. They discovered a small mechanical stop to prevent the scope from hitting the portal window. Ultimately, however, they decided against opening it, and I don't even need to look at my notes. I will take a screenshot of that. We can open the star fissure, but I don't understand. You're saying it's on a small island with a pool. We're on the massive dome island. To be clear, that code is 24422. I hate to think what would have happened to them if they had not left it alone. I instruct them to stay away from it. You're almost certain that with the decayed state of the islands, opening the fissure now would be disastrous. We're doing that next! I have heard that in the days immediately following Gurn's confinement, he attempted to determine the feasibility of navigating the stars beneath the fissure, where he'd seen the Myst book fall from Atris's hands into that very same space. Something transgressors. The telescope which still stands there is one he had built for these callous experiments. He would have had people thrown into it so that he could observe their face. Oof. It's said that the people did not die. What became of them remains a mystery. The limits of Gurn's optics prevented him from learning their face. Okay, the starfield is not as it seems. It's a gentle space, as hospitable to life as a flowing river. That is how Atris explained it after he fell into it. Much more than that we've never understood, never able to conclude its origins. It was born out of the will of the Maker, perhaps for some greater purpose we cannot yet understand. Atris's words from his journal. I realized the moment I fell into the fissure that the book would not be destroyed as I had planned. It continued falling into that starry expanse. Must be some greater reason. Maybe we got that book somehow. I don't know. Neglected to mention earlier, the unique shape of one of the great daggers which appeared during our escape, the very dagger that stands vertically at one end of the Allet one, so maybe that's the star points, has been adopted by the Moisi as a symbol of their cause, sacred symbol, representation of their doctrine, representation of me. To deface this symbol is sacrilege. Alright, so it's like a female symbol that means Catherine. You haven't told them that you rose it into this age along with all the other daggers. Strange how such a young religion can be so unbending even to their own god. You try to dissuade them of the notion that symbols contain power. Enemy uses his paranoia against them. They are fearful of Gurn's symbol. What is Gurn's symbol? That? Terrorized by a symbolic use of the walk. What is the walk? If they don't want to hear this from me, perhaps my attempts have even caused some of the younger members of the Moisi to doubt that I am Catherine. Rare encounters with those who say they follow Gurn have been discouraging. You have not had good dialogue with them. You've heard some use of the beliefs. Soon after you trapped Gurn on Riven, he claimed that he was responsible for the daggers, the poison daggers, placing them around the island as a reminder of their failure. In village circles, it is told that this was a punitive act performed by Gurns, marked the beginning of a period of restitution, at the end of which, if they have proven their devotion, they will be delivered unto a new and better existence, paradise. The door is open, Gurn is free. He has the ability to create working books. He had risen one age before I arrived, but he kept this accomplishment so well hidden that only his closest ministers were aware until now. Not sure if he's written others. Yeah, he's written others. Other news: a few years ago, before the Moisi were forced into hiding, one of them managed to steal what appeared to be a test book that Gurn had intended to destroy. It had been partially written, but did not work. They didn't tell me about it until now because they thought it was useless. That may be the book that we found beyond the Standing Stones. Back then, none of Gurn's books worked. We're looking at one right now which does work. Instead of correcting the problem at its source, he blamed it on the impure wood of the Riven Forest, engineered a cumbersome mechanical remedy, complex series of domes to heal his book's inherent flaws. One of the consequences is that the domes demanded huge amounts of energy, and the related problems delayed his success for quite some time. At last, he finished his work and was able to link to an age, kept his success extremely well hidden. For some reason or another, belligerent pride, he has made modifications to the domes which make it obvious that he's using the domes to breathe life into his half-dead books. As he means to lure us into using the books in the domes, he can't believe that we would blindly swallow his suicidal bait. I mean, we can do that. We can totally do that. You wouldn't know that we have one of the books, the stolen Burnt's book. The Burnt's book is the one that we saw in his workshop. There's a possibility of something. Have read Burnt book. Age it describes unsuitable as new home for the Moisi, must be modified. I will dream. They've requested a group to solve combination that will open the domes. We've got that. Once open, we can power the Burnt's book. Ooh. Once the domes are open, the Burnt's book is powered? Maybe I need to go back to the workshop. Have begun writing Moisi's age. No, never mind, she's doing it herself. Now must acquire a second book from Gurn. Tension, strain blurs my vision of nightmares. Nilo and Nessie stay close. Don't know what we're looking at there. Much has happened, almost everything is prepared. We have stolen another book, but I'm concerned Gurn will miss it. We have discovered the combinations for entering the domes. We have not discovered the method of powering them. We figured that out. By powering our Burnt's book with Gurn's domes, we'll be able to link to this age, but we'll only have access to the domes for a short of time. There's a word missing there. Before we are discovered, we can only use the domes once. I must find another way to make the books work. The gateway images in Gurn's books and our Burnt's book all seem to share the same sickness. If they are not powered, the image is black. That's what we saw. It might be possible to clear the vision with only... we don't know. We'll write substance into the Moiti age. All is ready. Now all we can do is wait for word from the Moiti-esque who are on the lookout for Gurn's power-induced domes. When he does that, we'll have access to one of Gurn's domes just long enough. After linking, you only have to locate the book window's substance and refine or adapt it. Laying this window over the gateway image should heal the books. That's what we're seeing. We're seeing a window. And make them work. This will allow me to use a second stolen book and return to Riven with more of the book windows. We'll then no longer have to rely on the domes. You're laughing at these plans. Feel no fear. Sorcerer Nightmares is a fissure like in Great Ruined. Stains the riven soil with blood. You hold the Moiti knife. The voices grow so loud. Is she going to kill herself? The Moiti have complete faith that I will accomplish my task and lead them to a better world. It is the fulfillment of their prophecy. They are also fearful and tense. I don't know what they will think or do if I fail. It is done. We have already evacuated all of the Moiti to this new age. It is beautiful and I am pleased. At last my people will live in safety and comfort. They stand under the bare sky unafraid and dazzled by their freedom. They are happy. They have named it Tay. Is that where we were? We rocked up on Tay. There's still much to be done. We are not protected yet. The only way to completely safeguard this place is to destroy the book which links to here from Riven. That seems like a bad idea. I do not even know how to bring this up to the Moiti. They will be extremely reluctant about destroying their only link to Riven. You share that hesitation. For their sake it must be done. Have your activities around Gurn's suspicions? You don't know? Feel that you are impregnable. Tomorrow you'll return to Riven to see Gurn's reaction for yourself. And that's where it stops. So something bad happened when she returned. Right. That's one. There's another. So she spoke of using the domes only once, but I want to believe that that was in her day. Like if I use this book now and the dome, hopefully we can come back or use the other domes. Spring Carcass, thanks for recording this audiobook. I'm fucking done. Oh my god. I could only keep the dramatic reading up for God knows how long, and then I looked at the other pages, I'm like, fuck me, there's like about 34 more pages. That's ridiculous, game. Catherine's letter. Okay, how long is this, first of all? Thank fuck. I write quickly from my prison. Nella will return your book, which the Moiti intercepted upon your arrival. After questioning her, I've concluded that it was written by Atris for a very specific purpose. Gurn will desire to use it, although he may have suspicions. If you can find my prison, you will still need the combination to release me. Gurn keeps it in his office. Then, I assume, we are to signal Atris. I think I know how it might be done, but don't signal him before I am released. Catherine. How would we signal him? I'm guessing maybe it's the room on Dome Island with the seat and the lever and the button. We need to find the prison and then release her and then signal. Okay. I feel like I just lost several years from my life. The door is open! Dark Summoner reference. Alright, well... this doesn't look productive. It looks like we're in the same place as where we were when we used the trap book. Oh shit. My immediate thought is all the domes are going to take me to the same place, which is where I'm standing right now. The question is, do any of these books take me back? I'm expecting that one to work, because we've not been there. That's where we came from. We can't go back. That's the boiler. Yeah, reading through that journal and hearing about the code in the office, the game expects you to solve the village puzzle first. You rock up on Village Island, and you're supposed to figure out those 5 marbles and the silhouettes and the creatures. That's basically Crypt Path. Still think that's madness. This one will work, won't it? No, it won't work. Fuck. Okay, am I trapped? I actually think I might be trapped. Uh-oh.
I apologize for the cage. I'm afraid this situation has often required of me a more primitive code of conduct than I might otherwise have chosen. I am Gen. I assume you've heard of me. Yes. Well, I suspect you have acquired some false information of who I am now. Not that my son would have lied to you about me. No, not Atreus. It's just that, well, I'm sure he believes me to still be the depraved father I once was. Yes. I even tried to kill him once. God, if I had accomplished that, who knows what I would have become. A great father indeed, who tries to murder his own son. Thankfully, he trapped me on age 5, a prison of my own creation. No books, no precious inks, no ages to link to, nothing but my own foolish ambitions. That was 30 years ago. 30 years, 30 lifetimes, what does it matter? No sentence could be too harsh for the man I was. But I have changed. To be sure, the deeds of my past can never be completely atoned for, but my mission was an honorable one. I'm sorry, this is all a bit awkward. It's been a long time since I've attempted to persuade anyone of my intentions. Most of the people here have already made their minds up about me one way or another. I myself do not trust the words of most men, so I don't expect you to believe me. In the end, though, you may discover that I do have more than mere words to offer. Atreus' choice of punishment has been hard on the people of Riven, and many have suffered because of it. The island has been steadily decaying for years, but according to my most recent measurements, it appears that the 5th age has entered its final days. Unless the villagers can be relocated soon, the island will collapse entirely and everyone will perish. It has taken me a long time to do it, but it appears that finally I'll be able to make some substantial amends to my past transgressions, especially in... Well, I'm afraid I've had some trouble with Catherine and the moiety. In any society, there will always be a small percentage of the population with rebellious tendencies. Before Catherine appeared, the moiety, as they call themselves, had been relatively harmless. I mean, the natives here are a fairly violent people by nature, but I'd almost come to accept their presence. It seemed inevitable under the circumstances. Upon Catherine's return, however, their violence intensified considerably. It seems she's become some sort of religious savior to them. And as far as I can tell, she's come to believe this herself. So I've had no alternative. I had to separate her from her people. I must admit, though, that my concerns were not entirely for her safety alone. The actions of Catherine and the moiety have put my own life at risk on numerous occasions. Consequently, the lives of all the people here. Therefore, I must ask you to refrain from any attempt to free her. Although I'm sure Atreus desires it. Indeed, he must desire it with all his heart. But he is completely unaware of her recent state. Which brings me to the point of all of this. The linking book you brought with you. You're very fortunate to have recovered it. If I may. Thank you.
We get a choice there. There's a lot there, but the chief comment that I want to make right now is that your family has some issues, dude. I can't seem to push anything here. I'm trying. This is highly unusual. We've got the cursor here. What are you doing? He's not looping.
Perhaps it would be best if you went through first.
That's the trap book. It looks like the place at the end of Myst. Did I have an option there? I did. Game over. We're being experimented on. It's odd. We went through the trap book and we found ourselves in the same place. Oh. No. Alright, we're out of here now. I don't understand anything about what just happened. But I don't want to use that book just yet. Let me delay that. I'm very confused by that. We're going into the trap book, or what looks like the trap book.
You may need some time to decide. That is reasonable. Until then, as a token of my good intentions, I will allow you free access to my linking books, crude though they may be, and to the rest of the Fifth Age. Please understand, there is nothing I want more than a chance to resolve matters between Atris and myself, especially in light of what has become of Catherine. But unless you are willing to demonstrate to me that your intentions are honorable, I cannot risk it. The sanctuary I've been writing for the Islanders is nearly complete. After all these years, it would be a shame if I were unable to finish it.
This
The work
guy's...
I am doing is quite demanding. Please don't signal me unless you've decided to use the book. The switch will reset itself once you link from here.
Alright, so we can signal him to come back here and use the book to wherever we just were. I'm confused though. I'm very confused. Do I have the trap book? I don't. I don't understand what the difference is between using the trap book here and using the trap book on Riven accomplishes. Like, why do we go to different places? Or apparently different places. But we're going to the same place, but he's disappearing in the process. Okay, well, he's activated these books, which I think we know what that means. If I try going here, this should now work. He said it would work. Yeah, that's taking me to exactly where I thought it would. Catherine, though, describes some caves under here, and I wonder if it's related to that massive knife that we saw with the, with whatever fucking number it was on the marble. So if I go here, am I just going to pop out of the dome? I am. So at this point I can come back here, use the 4, 10, 11, 16, 17 combination to open it up. We can go back to his office. I can think of 2 things to do. Well, 3 things actually. The first is I'm going to check out this massive knife here and see if there's anything regarding a cave system around here. Maybe I've missed something. I don't think so, but maybe there's a cave system directly underneath us. Second is we can... Well, actually, there's 4 things. The second is we can go back and we can go first and see what the hell happens. But to me, I think we can just go back, signal him, and do it anyway. So maybe that's nothing. I've already forgotten what the third thing was. The 4th thing is we can go back and use the telescope. We've got the combination. We've got the combination, and I kind of want to test it out immediately, because that's the first thing that we saw when we started the game. We finally got the combination to that damn thing. This design here makes me think... Like, this here is not like the design that we saw on the other side of the island, village near the pool. So this does actually make me think that maybe this here is where the Moiety were, and the Rivenese are in those huts on the cliffside. I now realise that sound effect is the thing closing behind us. I thought it might have been something ahead of me, something secret, but no, that thing's just closing up. That's unfortunate. So I missed something here. I needed the walkthrough to find the frigging marble. I do wonder if there's a cave entrance or something around here. Or when that's disappeared over time. I thought I was thorough looking through here, but evidently I was not. Yeah, right here. That was a symbol of Catherine, I'll call it. Alright, well... I think what I'll do is I'll go back to Dome Island and check out what I think is the Star Fissure. And I realise I'm not going to complete this tonight. Which is unfortunate, but here's one of these, I guess. That gate kind of looks similar to the other gate though, so maybe they were, I don't know, living in harmony, or maybe they split. Maybe it's just a one village, I don't know, but... My immediate thought is the village that we just passed through is where the Moisi were hanging out, and then over at the lake, that is where the Rivenese are hanging out. So I'm going to go down here. I'm going to push this button for shits and giggles. Linking books all work though, which is incredible. And switched on. The fourth thing I can do, or the third thing, is I can check out the, what I assume is the prison island. Small island using the linking book. Ghost Croatia 2, how you doing, dude? MW2. I may have missed part of your name there, I'm sorry. I'm very tired. The door is open today. No one in here communicating. No. Do I check out this room? No, I'm not going to check it out. I don't think it's worth it. Let's go over there. Let's go down here. Where am I? That was a very weird movement. Okay. We can open this. So the number of possible combinations here is 5 to the power of 5. It's a very unpleasant number. Open the fuck up. Did I put that in correctly? 24422? Did I do 23322? I don't know. I'm very tired. 2, 4, 4, 2, 2. Right, I cannot go in there. But I can look in here. Crude telescope that looks into the Star Fissure. Apparently people were put in here as an experiment. Wrong way. So Atris and maybe Catherine potentially escaped through here. And they sealed it with this iron lid. Don't know if we can push it down once more. Not seeing anything here. So this was the limit. It wouldn't go beyond this point. I don't think it's going to work. I'll try. Okay, that's new. Oh. Can we go down further? Can we thrust it in deeper? That's as deep as it would go. What's the purpose of that though? Other than showing me like a black hole that says, okay, this is where Atris and Catherine escaped. What's the purpose of that? I'm not sure. Ghost Kuroshi, you ordered Metal Gear Solid 3. Delta, nice. Well, let me know what it's like. Have you played the original? Original is on my to play and to stream list. Right, but what does that accomplish, if anything? I can't adjust the lens. Here's me thinking that this would maybe be the signal. The signal that we need to send to get out of here. But I don't think that's it. That just tells me that there's a black hole here. Which they escaped through originally, and then they, or Catherine came back for whatever reason. Alright, well, I don't regret doing that, but I feel like I've accomplished nothing. This here is still very broken, isn't it? Yeah, that thing will never work again. Star fissure is open. That's, why do we do that? I'm not sure. At this point, so I think I will go back into the dome, and we can check out that tiny island, which I assume is a prison, and I assume that's where Catherine is being kept. What's with the frame race? That dome has activated again. Nice. By nice, I hate it. Fuck. How do I even make this work? I don't. I can't go this way. I can't use a shortcut to get around. I can't lower the ladder. I should have lowered the ladder, shouldn't I? I should have lowered the ladder. Ugh. That sucks. You're doing trophy hunts? Yeah, you're gonna need to do multiple full playthroughs of that, I think. From memory, when I did MGS3 on the PS3 and the Vita, you're going to need at least one playthrough just dedicated to collecting all the animals, and then, well, actually, you can do it with one playthrough on the PS3 and Vita versions. It's basically an all collectibles run where you have to collect all the animals, collect all the Gokans or whatever they're called, and do all that fun stuff. But the Delta version, I don't know what the trophies are like on the Delta version. On the collection though, PS4 and PS5, you're going to need to do multiple playthroughs because it asks you, amongst other things, for a big boss rank. Right, nothing's changed there. I'm going to go back to the village. Oh, how far back can I rewind? I don't want to rewind that far because I've activated the star fissure. That's me being a dumbass. Let's go here. I'm going to go back to the village and use that dome to go back. The only way to get further into that island is to do a full loop using these maglevs or whatever they are, or to go back and use the teleporter. To go back into the cage and then use the relevant linking book. "64 ducks, the carrot hands," that's right. I can't remember what the suit's called. I think it was called the Gokhan suit or something. It was there. I saw it. Yeah. Yeah, it's kind of a brutal trophy run on the PS3 and Vita at least, but that said, it was easier than 2's. 2's was a nightmare. Yeah, just do all of the virtual missions and get all the dog tags and all that fun stuff. I did get the platinum for MGS2 Vita about 2 or 3 months ago, and I'll just say right now, if you can do it on the Vita, you are not human. I think I got about 15% through the VR missions and said, you know what? There's more to life than this. And then I transferred my save house over to the PS3 and did it there instead. And then just had to transfer back in for the trophy pop. Where am I going? This is the correct way. Go open this up. I say this thing might be a symbol of the moiety or whatever, but I don't see the dagger symbol on that thing. Alright, let's go up. I wish these domes would stay open. So I go there. It's going to ask me to put this code in again. It's like I know the code at this point. This just seems like busy work. Hell, I've solved that code many times. Forza Horizon 5 trophy hunting. Is that an easy platinum? I haven't played it and I don't have time to play it, so I won't know. I'll skip that. So next step, I'm going to check out the book that leads to the island that we've not seen. And then I guess we have to signal him and use the trap book. Trap book gets us out of this cell, Buzz. Seems like a terrible idea, but it seems like the only thing we can do, so I don't know. It's just surprising me that we use the trap book, we find ourselves here, we die, but then he shows us the trap book in this location and we don't die. Maybe he's trapping himself? Don't know. Whatever goes. The dome is offshore. We kind of saw that in the map room. We don't see the rest of the island. And I should have taken a closer look at that to see what colour it was. Mind you, we know it's blue. It's blue, it's blue. Disc 3, Boiler Island, okay. Let's back away. Carcass Forza is indeed on PlayStation. Came out in April, I think. Such a fun car game. It's a little bit sad though that Microsoft are bringing everything everywhere. There's no exclusives left by the looks of it. Forza's out, Gears came out the other day, and honestly I'm just waiting for Halo at this point. Life is taken and age is given. That's what that trophy's called. He who numbers but does not name. That's showing a map of the islands. Like the one we saw at the power generator area. Oh my god. Alright, we know what that does. Best Croatia, indeed. Helldivers came out on Xbox the other day as well, which is a massive win. Greencarcass, you never liked exclusives, fuck that entire concept and release everything on every platform. I want to agree, but at the same time, I think of all the consoles with exclusives and think exclusives are what make consoles desirable to purchase in the first place. If there weren't exclusives, I think there would just be one platform. And one platform holder, one developer, one... I don't know where I'm going with that. I just think exclusives still have their place, but it just sucks when something comes out for a platform that you don't own. I think companies are starting to wise up to the fact that if you put things on multiple platforms, oh god. I can't move the cursor well enough to get a rhythm going. Okay, what am I doing? Uncle Duck Gaming, how you doing? One platform, no competition, no innovation. That's kind of where I'm leaning towards. They're all just PCs with lockdown operating systems. Yeah, the thing is though, you need to have exclusives of some form, I guess, to make your product desirable. Like, we got 3 platforms at the moment, Switch, PlayStation, and Xbox. And Xbox and PlayStation are very similar, but Switch is doing their own thing, and they've got exclusives which are exclusives to that platform. So, if you want to play those games, you have to buy that platform. And that's a strategy by Nintendo, because if you could play exactly the same games on all the platforms, then apart from its portability, why would anyone buy a Switch? That's kind of what I'm leaning towards. And like, if Xbox are throwing away all of their exclusives and giving them to other companies or other platforms in chase of short-term profit, why would I buy an Xbox in future?
You made it. But how'd you get past Gen?
That's Catherine.
He must really believe I've gone mad.
You're a demigod.
I know what he's doing. He's watching you. He's waiting for you to make a mistake. He's hoping you'll lead him back to Dunny. You can't let Gen... Atris sent you to save me. But if Gen gets back to Dunny, he'll kill him.
Mm-hmm.
I think I know how to signal Atris, but it's going to take both of us. You'll have to trap Gen before you can get the combination. Be careful. Go then. If you won't help me, then I have nothing more to say.
I don't think he's going to be that easily fooled. A combination, he mentioned, sure, she mentioned Dunning, which is the place where Atris is currently hiding or trapped. At the end of Myst, you can go to that place with the white page or without the white page, and if you don't go with the white page, that's a game over. A bunch of competing console platforms that try to lock you into their ecosystem is not very adequate for consumer. Yeah, so if you got two very similar things like Xbox and PlayStation, those boxes are basically identical, or they feel identical with the terms of what they're offering. Like the same sort of games and whatnot. But if you've got someone who's doing something unique on the side, then I don't know. I look at Nintendo and think exclusives are justified there because those games... What am I trying to say? I don't know. I'm tired. I think exclusives do have their place, unfortunately, just because console manufacturers want to sell their console. But a lot of companies are wising up and saying, let's release everything everywhere. Look at Nintendo, I think you'd never buy anything from this company with the way they've behaved lately. They have been a bit naughty. What is this? Just don't do anything with your Switch 2 because you might brick it and that's it. That's fucked. I'm guessing we're going to get the combinations of that, and that will send us down perhaps, or maybe it will undo this cage. We'll get the combinations of that once we use the book back at Gurn's office. That's my guess. Yeah, it's all good, dude. You put up with me, so anything you say is totally fine. I don't think it's ranting though. I think it's entirely legit that console exclusives are, or exclusives in general are fast becoming a thing of the past. And part of me does think that they still have their place to try and, I mean, don't get me wrong, it's incredibly anti-consumer. But I do question just how many of these consoles would have, thrived, I guess, without the concept of exclusives. But that's an impossible question to answer, I think. For me, though, it's just a little bit sad that it's incredibly likely that Halo is going to come to PlayStation, and that is mind-blowing in my opinion. And Grace Crasher MWT, you mentioned Starfield released on PS5. I mean, the story goes that Sony were talking to Bethesda about making Starfield a 6 months exclusive or something like that, or an exclusive in general, and Microsoft got wind of that, and they bought Bethesda. That's how that happened. It's just scummy behaviour all around, I think. Alright, we visited Catherine, popped a couple more trophies. I'm not sure what to do next other than take up this guy on his offer. It will get us out of this cage. And speaking of scummy behaviour, fucking Microsoft. Do not get me started on that whole Azure and Israel thing.
I'm relieved you've returned. I thought perhaps you had decided against it. Here, I shall follow you directly.
That looks like Dunning, or whatever it's called. It looks like the place at the end of Myst. We used the trap book. Okay, what are we looking at here? Really? I assume we're in the book. He equips his space gun or whatever it is. covers the book with his hand. But we find ourselves here now. I thought this was game over. We pop a trophy. But then we pop out here. So at this point, I don't believe we can use the linking books to go back. We have that, we have this. We have a door leading outside. The door is locked. A boiler? Won't touch that just yet. I want to touch this light again. Door remains locked. That seems useful. And now I wish I was paying more attention when he activated the linking books to see what he touched. Another dead book. It's probably that boiler on the right hand side. Also, just one thing and then I'll shut up, I promise. When we're talking about exclusives, I'm explicitly referring to first party exclusives or first party exclusives that were made, or not that, third party exclusives that were made with the help, not, you know, monetary help, but just help in general of the platform holder. Like if it's a third-party exclusive and they say something like, oh, we're doing this because of a link of heart or because Tomb Raider really has a future on Xbox or something like that, then yeah, that can go and get fucked, for sure. But I think it's something like Sony's internal studios, who they've nurtured for years, making something like God of War or something like that, and I think that's okay. That looks like one of the beetles we saw in the art gallery. Yeah, I think everyone's wisening up and going, yeah, we can just put out stuff on all platforms and we can make a lot of money out of that. And companies like money. Oh, that sound effect. Okay, for you two, you just won't play those games. Yeah, I mean, I've missed out on tons of games on Xbox over the years. If I wait long enough though, I'll be able to play them. Nothing there. What about a sensor here? Did I touch that switch earlier? I think so. These books still down? No, they're working now. So that boiler thing with the dome must be what's powering this. Swimming, indeed. There is an absolutely overwhelming amount of good games that aren't like that, and you already have trouble deciding what to play. Yeah, have you seen my backlog? If Starfield came out tomorrow on the PlayStation 5, hell, if Halo came out on the PlayStation 5, I wouldn't get a chance to play them. Plus, you know, fuck Microsoft in general at the moment, but that's an entirely separate subject. Okay, so that powers the books. I don't know what this does. Let's go down this ladder if we can. I don't think there's much of a game with Starfield anyway. I've heard similar. Some sort of basin. Seems very impractical. Communicator device. Let's have a little cozy bedroom here. It's just very funny to me that Microsoft bought Bethesda to stop Sony from getting the exclusive for Starfield for a while. And since then, they've shut down Tango Gameworks and Arcane, or one of the subsidiaries of Arcane. And by very funny, I mean it's fucked. Okay, we know what that is. That's a combination to Catherine's elevator. Very funny someone would even want Starfield as an exclusive. I mean, it was the next big game from the creators of the Elder Scrolls. I think I'm hearing 6 notes there. No, there's 5. I'll just use this a few more times. I need to get this right. I'm just going to write this down. So we got low, medium, high. I'm struggling to interpret those 2 notes. The high notes are very simple. Alright, so 2 and 4 are high notes. .NET, please. Just let me write this down. So we have a high note. Oh, got them. We're still typing in cyan. We have a high note. I think we have 2 notes at the start and the end, and we have a different one in the middle. Let me confirm. Yep, okay. How do I describe that one in the middle? Trying to think how to describe it. I've written DII in lowercase, as opposed to the other ones which are in capitals. Hopefully I understand that when I get back. Alright, what's in here? TLDR. But I think that trophy means that that was the last journal. That's Catherine, and I assume that's Atris. Doesn't look anything like him, though. Maybe that's a self-portrait of himself. This horn, though. Well, it's not a horn, it's like a recorder or something. I can see those dots there. I need to cough. I'm dying. I will read that thing shortly, and then I might go to bed.
Tagamem, san botegan shem. Fasi.
That would be so much more interesting if I could understand it and if it was in English. I've seen a lot of weird shit in this game. How to decode colours, the language of that, how to decode their numbers. I've seen that and I got trolled on it very, very hard. But there's nothing about the spoken language. Oh my god. Right, let me try and read this. And then I'll go upstairs and see what we can do. We can link back to the previous places, but I don't understand why at this point. We can go rescue Catherine. Let's try that. It's probably going to end badly, but let's try that. Some days, I start this latest journal with standing news. Catherine has returned to the Fifth Age, to Riven. Sets my teeth on each side. She vanished as quickly as she appeared, stolen by the rebels. She linked to the Fissure Plateau Cage. Ah, okay, that's where we started. Got it. We started at the Fissure Plateau Cage, near the fissure. Got it. Was set upon by a band of rebels who danced at him and sprinted... Who, what? Danced at him? Okay. Knocked him out. Didn't mean to do that, sorry. You suspect the truth of the matter. He was so dumbfounded at actually witnessing someone that he presented an easy target. Damnable luck. He got a good look, verified that it was Catherine, inspected all of her belongings and found no linking book on her person, a fact which, if true, makes the question of why she's returned here all the more puzzling. Sick with frustration, having lost the only quarry that the cage has ever caught, you're also filled with hope. She may yet provide a way back to Ni. You managed to break free of the confines, so you're here. You're outside of the Fifth Age. You're resuming your mission to save your culture from extinction. You need to regain access to the vast resources that lie in the Ni city ruins. If Catherine did bring a linking book, then you're halfway there. If not, then she is trapped here. I can assume my emotionally crippled son will soon be along to rescue her. Damn, dude. Holy shit. It's crucial to your plans that I find her. Presence here now forces me to take the rebels more seriously. The Great Walk has demonstrated this usefulness. Last week, the villagers have been most difficult to manage, and their fear of this mythic beast has been all that has kept them in line. Truly useful these prodigious creatures would prove to be. You perhaps captured more of them while the local population was still plentiful. These disturbances continue. Current pets will be in no danger of perishing for lack of nourishment. The hell? You were hunting these things? You now deeply regret your mistake of having ever taught these primitive people anything at all about the books. You realise they were not ready for that knowledge. Their minds, only to the exceptionally menial task of village life, were incapable of comprehending the art, and they thought Catherine was a god, correct? They cannot grasp the information you gave them. If they'd been able to gain even the smallest glimpse of the future you'd planned for them, then this conflict would not exist. The minds of children are much more malleable, indeed. They developed a more appropriate posture towards the culture that gave them their lives. Something need blood. Given the natives' inborn limitations, you're quite careful that none of them gain a level of understanding that will permit them to sin against their future the way that Catherine did. Alright, this guy's a Carmichael Hans. Atris, he still remains one of the greatest disappointments of your life. He's your son, dude. Holy shit. Billy watched the Red Letter Media video. Not saying much here. As you stood in the schoolroom today, you were reminded of your own childhood, the years you spent in the Bookmakers Guild, father's pride, was an important man in the knee world, but you can't think of him for long. You've got her. I received word that Catherine was in the village attempting to persuade the people to join her. We don't know if that's true or not. Lost 2 good men in the process, but you would have paid 100 times that for such a prize. She's been taken to the prison island where you've been attempting to gain some insight as to the reason for her presence here. You had to fight all but constant impulse to put her on the gallows. She has adopted the most infuriating stance of only answering my questions, when she answers them at all, in her native tongue. Even so, she is a poor liar. I am now quite certain that her return to Riven was unintentional and that she brought no linking book with her. We don't know why she came. I mean, maybe Atris said something at the start, but that was a very long time ago. As far as her unwillingness to share with me the location of the moiety, we shall see without their leader. However, they are once again powerless against me. If Catherine's coming here was indeed an accident, then Atris is bound to come for her. That is a given. Why did he send us after her? I don't know. How will he do it? It is likely that his hesitation has been due, at least in parts, to this dilemma. One way or another, though, he'll have to bring a linking book to get back to Knee. There is no other way. We didn't come with a linking book. What is this font? It's late and I cannot sleep. I've lost so much in my life. My people, my father, my son, and you, my wife, Kessa. That must be the person on the wall. You were the only true kindness I've ever known. Watching you flicker there in the imager. Ah, okay, so that's who we were just talking to there. I sometimes wonder if you're real. Wheel? Fuck me, I'm tired. If I could restore your life with my pen, I would do so in an instant and leave the rest of the world to their own wretched fate. Damn these savages, you would be well advised to leave them all in 5th Age and begin again with a clean sheet of paper. A stranger has arrived on Riven with a linking book to Knee. Is that us? That's us. We rocked up with the book. And once again, your useless minion was overtaken by the rebels. From what little I could decipher from his muddled explanation, it apparently occurred sometime this morning. The cage has been damaged, but it is no matter. Everything I need is here now. The rebels have the linking book. Got us. Atris is certainly behind this, yet how could he be so foolish as to send someone here with a linking book? Such blatancy is unlike him. Could it be that he has had a change of heart? After all these years, is he finally letting his poor old father go? No, he's only after one thing. Perhaps he should find her. Now I need only to wait and observe. That's what Catherine said. Gurn is watching us. So at this point... Excuse me. I'm dying, chat. There's possibly more we need to do in here, but I'm not sure what. But it seems like we have an option. I don't know which book it is. Of going back to the prison island. The question I've got though is, are we still in the present, for want of better words? We used a trap book. Something happened. And I don't understand what. I am coughing my lungs up in the background, chat. This certainly looks like the same place. All right. So, it is this. That's different. Who will link the broken chain? The portrait of Catherine. But the question is, how do we get out of here?
We have to move quickly. Gen's people may already know what's happening. Once we're back with the moiety, we'll have time to regroup. Can I see the book? You did it. We're all free. You captured Gen. But there's still his followers. I'm not sure what I'll do once I realize he's gone. I'll have to get the villagers to safety as soon as possible. You go back to the Temple Island and reopen the fissure. I know it's risky. It's the only way to signal Atris. I'll try to make it back there as soon as I can, but don't wait for me. Don't forget, the portal combination's in my journal. Good luck.
We've already done that. I'm confused though. He's trapped in that book? I've got no idea how we trapped him in that book. To me, it was the opposite. We trapped ourselves in the book, and he was looking at us inside the book. And everything we're now doing is inside the book. Right, well, if Catherine believes it, then I guess I believe it. Give me control, game. I don't know what our objective is. I heard something about the fissure. But, yeah, let me rewind that. I'm going to make a save here because I feel this is important.
Once we're back with the moiety, we'll have time to regroup. Can I see the book?
That's the trap book.
You did it. We're all free. You captured Gen. But there's still his followers. I'm not sure what I'll do once I realize he's gone. I'll have to get the villagers to safety as soon as possible. You go back to the Temple Island and reopen the fissure. I know it's risky. It's the only way to signal Atris. I'll try to make it back there as soon as I can, but don't wait for me. Don't forget, the portal combination's in my journal. Good luck.
Fortunately, I can't skip this now. Alright, so that Dome Island is called Temple Island. We're being told to reopen the fissure. The combination's in your journal. I'm sorry, Catherine, I'm way ahead of you. I've already done that. Spring Carcass, I'm not actually sure. Are they physically inside the books or are the books just portals between places? I think we're going physically inside the books. But what I don't understand... oh my god, I'm dying. I'm literally dying. What I don't understand is that whole scene with Gurn showing us the book, saying, hey, you go first. And for whatever reason... I don't know if there's more going on here, or maybe we are trapped inside a book right now, as in trap, not, you know, just partially trapped. The story is very confusing. I mean, I get the whole concept that you write a book, you create a place, and then you go inside it to link to that place. Like, this world has been written along with all of the other worlds. They wrote, yes, this place is going to have fluffy clouds and whatever have you, and inside this world they've constructed this stuff. Oh my god, I'm losing my voice. You can't travel to these other worlds by other means, like a boat, for instance. Fuck? Oh my god. No. The worlds are not linked by that. The only way to link to these worlds is to go through the books. Like if you tried sailing into the ocean, you'd find yourself somewhere, but you would never be able to access this place we're looking at right now by sailing through the ocean. It's like a completely different dimension. That's my understanding anyway, which could be entirely wrong. Right, well, Gurn is no longer a threat apparently, according to Catherine. I have no clue how that works, but okay. I guess similar to Myst, there's going to be alternate endings, but I don't know how to access them. In Myst, it was very clear. You use the books, you get the bad ending. You give the white page to Atris, you get the good ending. Alright, so if I do this, is he going to come back? No. So at this point, my only option is to use the linking books here. We were told to go back to Temple Island. Got no idea how much I'm coughing up my lungs in the background, chat. Hippo sick. Mind you, reading that amount of material has not helped. Even if I didn't read it properly. Gonna go in there? No, never mind. I'll just push it. That's interesting. That's telling me that the walkway way above me shouldn't have a gap in it. I think it totally does. Skipping that. Alright, so we're gonna get ambushed on the way back. Come on. Game. So while I'm here, yeah, there's some weird shit going on here. That has been locked off. As long as I can access this area ahead of me. It's almost like this is reset to default. Which is making me very worried that we may have entered a alternate dimension where we are actually in the trap book. Maybe Catherine's misunderstanding that. Right, well... There's also that room ahead of me. What the fuck is the purpose of that room ahead of me? That's got to be something. I'm making a save. That has to be something. I don't know what. So this is the fissure cage. This is where we started. Is this thing open? Yeah, that's open, so it remembered that. But now what? Do I just look in here? This thing is open. Is it time to do something in here at last? We were told to open that thing, but the thing is, I'd already done that. Maybe I've got to go back and close it and then reopen it, which seems very, very dumb. This is still doing nothing. Alright, at this point, unless I need to re-explore the islands and see if anything's changed, I don't know what to do. That thing's not there. Alright, well... let me try going back here. I'll raise the telescope, I'll lower it, I'll try looking into it at various angles. Failing that though, I might need to call it quits for tonight, which is unfortunate because I feel like I'm very close to the end. We've opened this thing though. This is what Catherine asked us to do. The combination was in her journal. We've cracked that. Question is now what? Let's raise this. We were told to open this, and we've done so. Oh, hang on. Maybe what we need to do... Hang on. Maybe what we need to do is... throw the switch. That's going to involve me going this way and pushing the button a lot of times. Yes, I know. Where is it? No, really, where's the switch? There's no switch here, which means I need to go back here and then rotate it. Which means I need to use my noggin. Give me a minute. I need to push this 4 times, don't I? Yeah, 4 times. That's the only thought that I've got. The other thought I've got is maybe I need to go back to the other ages and see what Catherine is doing. We've caught up with her, maybe she's in trouble. It does seem odd that we went to that place where the Moisey were hanging out, and then we immediately got kicked out, and we haven't been back. we should be able to see something here. So the next one is going to connect the locked door to the path leading down to the switch, which controls the telescope. And I think throwing the switch means that we'll no longer be able to use the telescope or no longer able to manipulate it. That is the least of my concerns right now. I don't know if that's the answer or not, but that's literally the only idea that I've got. Just making sure. That controlled the bars to the gate. Nothing. Yeah, okay. That confirms that the switch controls the telescope. I don't see anything different here, so... Yeah, let me rewind all that. I don't think that's the solution. So I think at this point I've got to start exploring the other islands again, which I didn't really want to do. I'll check one more thing and then I'll call it quits for tonight. We raise this thing and look at it from a different angle. Does something change? I don't think it will. We can't lower it further. Because it's at the extent of its limits, or extent and limit is the same thing. What the fuck? Thing is, now that this is open, I don't think I can close it. Signal. How do we send a signal? That is as high as it will go. You see a black hole if we zoom in. Alright, so well, Catherine wanted me to open this. There was nothing else with this telescope. We did see a diagram with this with the lever. It looked like the lever was at the back, so I think it's right here. And this button just lowers it so that we can look inside there. So we can look at the black hole. But right now I'm struggling to see what this accomplishes. I can go over here, which is worrying. That's a long way down. Can't look up there. Can't explore the back of the telescope. I think this is where I'll call it. I will take a very quick look at the guide though, just to see what the next step is. Age of the Moisey. How do you get out once you've been captured? That's literally the last step. Maybe we're not going back. Endgame, the prison island. How do I get off Riven? This is literally the last thing. Try to solve every other puzzle first. Bring Catherine, we've done that. You really won't have the information you need to leave the island before then. If you try and leave, you'll get something less than an optimal ending. Describes a telescope. Yep, we're there. We need to open that fissure. We've done that. By dropping the telescope, we've done that. Follow the instructions in the journal. Yep, we have put that in there. Need to release the stops that prevents the telescope from entering the fissure. It's on the left base of the telescope, excuse me? Are you telling me there's something I can interact with here? Ah, fuck's sake, game. Maybe? Yeah, no, fuck off. That's fucked. I've looked at this God knows how many times now. I would not have seen that. That's fucked. I mean, I get that that was the limit, the extent, but nah, I don't like it. I think we broke it. Petrus?
There isn't much time. Where's Catherine? Where's the book?
Atris!
I don't know.
What's wrong with your lip sync?
The villagers are safely in the Rebel Age. I thank you.
As do I. You've accomplished more than I could have hoped for. You've given me back my life. The path home is now clear for all of us.
Can I come with?
This is where our paths must
What the fuck, dude?
Goodbye, my friend.
You twat. I can't imagine that's a bad ending, though. We rescued Catherine, we fell into the fissure. And I guess this is where Myst starts. Maybe we're in a time loop, I don't know. I think there are 3 more games in this series, and after playing this one, I have no intention of checking out the rest. I still do not
understand. Endings and beginnings are within the fissure. That riven cleft of stars that acts as both a wall and a bridge. And though I am unable to understand how, the very flow of stars that brought my Myst book into worthy hands, I am sure served as a safe passage home for my friend. The age of Riven is closed forever, but the people of Riven are free. And now I am at rest, understanding that in books and ages and life, the ending can never truly be written.
I'm sure you meant for that to sound insightful, but you failed. I still don't understand the whole trap book business. How do we trap Gurn inside that book? Alright, so what I might do is let the credits play out. I'll take a very quick look at the trophies. What is this kind of video playing? I can see the grayscale coming up here. What the hell? We'll take a look at the trophies, see what's left. And then I might look at a guide tomorrow so I can just do a speed run on the PS5 version, and then I'll put this game to bed permanently. I can see it's going to be an easy platinum, so let's knock that off. Then after that, maybe I will play something different until I get my internet upgraded and I can play MGS2. Spring Carcass, any ending that gets you out of this hellhole is a good ending. I don't mind puzzle games, but this one just didn't seem designed terribly well. Like, Myst was fine, I think. It was very basic, it was very pretty, it was fine. This one was just weird. And I mean, that jungle puzzle, no one's getting that jungle puzzle. If you got that jungle puzzle, I don't believe you. Figuring out the silhouettes and the sounds and trying to match them up against those stylized images of the animals. I mean, I did figure out that the marbles had numbers on them. But that was about the limits of my ability to comprehend what the fuck was going on. And the marbles puzzle, that one is very tricky. I don't think I would have got that. I feel like if they had made the lines clearer on the contraption on top of the dome, so that it showed the islands, that would have given me half a chance, I think. But the thing is, the clue to that apparently is hidden on page 70 of 678 of the journal inside the workshop. That's very hard. Those journals, there is just so much fluff there which isn't relevant, and then like one paragraph is like, ooh, this is important, pay attention to this. I'd normally say thank you for saying that, but honestly, I'm ashamed of my words and deeds. I played Myst. This game exists because of me. I'm a terrible person confirmed. That telescope stopper at the end, I mean, yeah, I get it. It couldn't move down because it was stuck, but that's me just thinking it's a natural, you know, limitation of the telescope. And have we actually hit a dead end here? Spring Carcass, I did this myself, indeed. I enjoy pain. Don't tell anyone. Jesse knows, but don't tell anyone. I'm pushing buttons and nothing's happening. Okay, the music's stopping. If the music starts up again, I'm going to just rage quit on this. Right, there is currently no audio coming through the Elgato. Yeah, this is one of those endings where you have to walk over to the PS1 and hit the reset button. Alright. That is where I'll call it for tonight. Let me just take a quick look at the trophies and see what remains. It's just mind-blowing to me that this thing here, this screenshot, well actually no, not this screenshot, but the tile up on the, I need to bring this screen up. Up on the top left there, that looks like the age of the moiety or whatever it is, that little orb. We go there for about 2 seconds and that's it. That's like key art for the game. And we don't end up going there. So weird. Oh, that's depressing. What am I missing? No, I'm missing 3. Never mind. Right, so that I believe I know how to do. That would just involve going back to the place we were just looking at, the moiety place, and then using the trap book. We used the trap book in Riven. Yeah. We used the trap book in Riven and we turned up in the 98th age or whatever it was. And then he said, yeah, you're kind of fucked. And the game ended. We did get the good ending. We can release him in Riven and Tay, so I'm going to try this out very quickly. I mean, I'm this deep in, I might as well just finish it tonight. And I think what I'll do is I'll play this again tomorrow and just get the platinum on the other version. So. We're here. Can I assume that I have a trap book? We lose that when we give it to Catherine. How did he get in here? Excuse me.
I don't know exactly why you released me, but you realize, of course, that this must be the end for you. I can't take the chance that you will change your mind again. It may provide you with some solace, however, to know that with this act of self-sacrifice, you have secured your place in history. The Dunny culture will be reborn, and the lives of millions will be purified. Thanks to you. Farewell.
Purification doesn't sound great. Okay, I've been pronouncing it Ni, but I assume Dunny is DNI. I don't know how he trapped this fucker. Right, so if I go back to Riven now, I would like to go back to... Oh, has the rain started? The rain has started. It's going to come bucketing down tomorrow. There's even talk that there might be a tornado, which I don't believe for a moment, but that's just our shitty newspaper saying what they say. So, radar, where are you? Radar 128 kilometers. It's only a little cloud. That'll stop in about 2 seconds time. So if I go here and release him, let's get out of this dome. That should be a trophy. What am I doing? That. Yeah, that's Dunny. That's where Atris is hiding. The end of Myst. Oh, what the fuck just happened there?
I don't know exactly why you released me, but you realize, of course, that this must be the end for you. I can't take the chance that you
Okay, give me a moment. Give me moments. Just want to take a look at the trophy that I just unlocked. You can do a PlayStation. Oh my god. Everything just crashed. Okay, release again in Tay and use the trap book in Tay, so I must have released him in Riven. These are the two trophies that I have to unlock, to be clear. Alright, let me just go back in there. I see what I have to do is I have to load this, and I realize I've got the wrong scene up. Let me just zoom in on that. Let's go back here. What I'm going to have to do is go back to my favorite set of standing stones and then release him. And then what I need to do is I need to go back to the save game at the start of the stream, wait for the person, I don't know what her name is, to give me the trap book and Catherine's stuff, then go back in there and then let myself get trapped. Turn around, please. Do it. Well done. I said it before, I'll say it again. This puzzle coming up is bullshit. I can actually understand how people would figure out the marbles. I do not understand how you'd figure out this one. This one is well beyond my comprehension. Fortunately, I can't skip that. If we do unlock a trophy here though, then hopefully the next one is also very easy to unlock, and then I can call it quits. And as for tomorrow, I think I'll just do a speedrun of this. Let's get another platinum and then I'll move on with life. I'll try and put this sorry chapter behind me. Feels like there's just so much more to this game that should be here. Like, we see a sentry post there, we see someone moving, and you see that in a few places around the village. So here's me thinking, okay, well maybe what we have to do is break into this village somehow without being spotted. When I think about the puzzles in Myst and the various ages, there's things to do there, things to see, things to do. With Riven, there's really not that much. Like, what puzzles are there to solve, really? Got the rotating room. You stop the boiler. Apart from figuring out how things work, like, for example, the buttons summon the maglevs or the carts or whatever they're called. Apart from that, and then the two big ones of this puzzle right here and the marbles, what else is there? We definitely had to gain knowledge of the colours and knowledge of the numbering system, which I think was done very well apart from that whole multiply by 5 thing. But as for actual puzzles, I'm not convinced there's much here. Just seems, I'll say, disappointing after playing Myst. Myst was alright. I think Myst was genuinely a decent game. It's very similar to this, but it seemed logical, it seemed, I don't want to say easy, but there was something there, I think. This one, I don't know, it's like they doubled down on the use of CD graphics and making it look beautiful and higher resolution, and it's like, wow, this game looks incredible, it's on 5 discs. It ain't that great. Good news is though, when I do a speedrun of this, I will be able to quickly do it because I'll know all the solutions. And by that, I mean I don't have them written down, but I'll just copy them off the internet. The biggest issue we'll have, I think, is figuring out the numbering system for the codes and the journals. So, we'll probably need to do this once more. Like, this puzzle here is absurd. What the fuck? This here is the biggest stain on the game by far. Even that being the rock, no. Just no. Let's skip that. Let's go in here. That's the window which can be used to repair the books. And this here is the Age of Tay, where the Moiti are hanging out. We arrived here, they captured us, and then we were given away as by someone who, I don't know if she was in cahoots with them or sympathetic to our cause, maybe she recognized us. I can't answer any of those questions. Nope. What I do think though is that if I use the trap book right now, there's going to be a lot of people here who are very unhappy with us.
It appears that the moiety and I will finally be able to discuss our differences face to face. I don't know exactly why you released me, but you realize, of course, that this must be the end for you. I can't take the chance that you will change your mind again. It may provide you with some solace, however, to know that with this act of self-sacrifice, you have secured your place in history. The Dunny culture will be reborn, and the lives of millions will be purified. Thanks to you. Farewell.
You're just one man with a dart gun. Unless you've got other superpowers that I'm not aware of, I don't know how it's going to end well for you, dude. You against thousands. Right, I'll save over my game. I don't think so. Maybe I did. I did, didn't I? Fuck's sake. Okay, I'm not going back from there. Let's just go in here. So I'm gonna have to go in here, get captured, wait, then leave, and then immediately come back. Don't understand the trap book though. If we use the trap book, we find ourselves in that age, in that cage, and game immediately ends. I don't think Gurn is in the trap book to begin with, but I don't understand why when we look at the trap book, he gets trapped, and I'm going to see if I can find something about this while I'm waiting, because I'm genuinely confused. Right, turn around. You skip that, thank God. Riven, Gurn, trap book. Right. AI overview, which I don't believe for a moment, says that we need to obtain the trap book from Keta in the Moiti Age, which we're just about to do now. Keta was his waifu though. Bring it to Riven and then touch it before Gurn sees it. If Gurn finds the book, is intrigued by the player being inside it, and uses it himself, inadvertently trapping himself and freeing the player. Yeah, okay, that makes sense. So we get trapped inside the book, He sees us running around. He's like, ah, yep, okay, I'll follow that guy. He then uses the book. He frees us and traps himself, and then we don't let him out. Got us. That makes sense. So at this point, I'm just waiting for Kessa. I wouldn't have known that's her, but hey, this game is what it is. I need to wait for her to bring me the book. And the journal and whatever else. Right, what am I doing? Am I just waiting? There's going to be other endings though, aren't there? There's no trophies for them. Like if I was to go back to the telescope right now, input the combination, we know what it is unless it changes on me, and then drop the telescope, Atris is going to come in and he's going to have the fucking shits with us. Where is it? Excuse me. How do you get out? Patience is a virtue. Just wait around in your prison for a minute or two. Same person will come twice. Okay, I'm waiting. But I'm an impatient boy. Spring Carcass, why would he do that if he knows how the books work? So the trap book, I believe, takes you to a void. And it normally doesn't work like that. Like at the end of the game, you saw Atris and Catherine using a linking book. They both used it and they both entered the book. They both entered that place. This one, however, is very specifically a trap book, and you see it to good use in Myst. Basically, you see a red trap book and a blue trap book, and there are people literally trapped inside those books. You interact with them, and they're like, let me the fuck out of here. So my guess is that Gurn is a dum-dum, and he doesn't know about the concept of trap books. He did say though, and this does make sense. Can I skip you? No. That's Gurn's waifu, I think. And Gurn made a huge mistake by trusting us. He said, hey, use this book, make sure it's safe, and then I'll follow you. And we used the trap book. We saw ourselves trapped inside the book, which is what I speculated happened. It looked like we were trapped in the book. Actually, I don't need to use it. I don't need to go out. I can do it right now. That should be our platinum. So we're about to get trapped in this book. But what I don't understand is how, when we used it in Riven, how we ended up on that other age in that cage. How did that happen? Was the book delivered to him, perhaps? I don't know. That should be the platinum.
Mai non sa se io non che ne poco mo poco si può.
Fry dopo.
Dove io?
Yeah, you gently shaking your head is basically how I feel about the entire game. one last thing and then I'll go to bed. I've had enough. Do we have any saves back on the island? That one's going to be closest. Before we solve this puzzle. Let's try and make Atris a very unhappy boy. Hopefully this works. I don't know if I saw that the first time I inspected the telescope, but fuck me, I did not think for a moment there was another interactable point here. On the left, that's insane. No, if I saw that, I would have interacted with that and I would have remembered it. I have no memory of that. Right. Is the code the same? Good. It's doing a bit of a minor sequence break there. Right, we're going to drop the telescope. That is going to signal Atris. And he's going to have the shits with us. And that will be a fitting end to this stream. Tomorrow I'll play this again, but I'll be speedrunning it. I'll just get the platinum and then find something else to do with my time. I see, there's like a glass... there's like a pane of glass in that lid. It doesn't seem very sturdy though. Bad end incoming.
There isn't much time. Where's Catherine? The book is empty. I don't understand.
You never did.
Father.
Father! I am no longer your father because you are no longer my son. I don't know what you thought you were doing, but thank you. I finally am free.
It's alright, I don't think. Bad end. I might look overnight and see if there's any other endings to it, but that is where I'm going to call it. Swimming Carcass, Uncle Duck Gaming, Golden Gas, anyone else who is chatting, Ghost Crasher, NW2, anyone else who's been lurking, thank you for watching, thank you for putting up with me on this. I'm not a happy boy. This just wasn't all that fun, unfortunately. I had a good time with Myst, but I can't say the same for Riven. Even so, still glad I played it because this feels like a piece of gaming history, which, honestly, is probably better thrown in the bin. Alright, I'm going to cut it off on exactly the 4-hour mark. Thank you for watching, everyone. Have a great day, great night, or whatever it is in your part of the world right now. We'll play this again tomorrow night. We'll get the platinum on the PS5 version, and then we'll move on. Alright, thank you, everyone. See you soon. Dark Matter 2, you've literally come in as I'm logging off. Uncle Duck, thank you. Swimming, thank you. Dark Matter 2, thank you. Look after yourselves. Back tomorrow. I thought I was on mute, damn it. That's what I've been coughing up in the background. Right. Thank you, everyone.